Kat Timpf, filling in for Greg, who's been gone so long we've run out of stuff to say about it. Anyway, it's Friday, so you know what that means. Let's welcome tonight's guests. He once busted Santa for breaking and entering. Former NYPD inspector and Fox News contributor Paul Morrow. She can turn a press conference into a party and a soundbite into a symphony. Republican strategist Aaron Perini. He sells razors and never wears blazers. Host of the David Angelo Show on YouTube and founder of Western Razor Company, David Angelo. And he's so tall, he already saw the ball drop. New York Times bestselling author, comedian, and former NWA world champion, Tyrus. Okay, before we get to some news stories, let's do this.
Greg's Leftovers.
It's Leftovers, where I read the jokes we didn't use this week. Mexico is planning to open shelters for 12,000 of its own citizens in preparation for deportations. Sadly, those shelters could also attract Michael Loftus. Pornhub released its list of most popular search terms in each U.S. state. New York's was Turkish, Florida's was Cubana, and Tennessee's was hot MILF. In a related story, I might want to cancel next year's tour dates in Nashville. Get it? Because I'm going to be a hot MILF next year. Thank you.
Look out.
Yeah, buddy. Okay. Gen Z cashiers are reportedly having trouble recognizing real cash. They're also having trouble recognizing real lips. A man has broken a Guinness record by creating the world's smallest washing machine. He's already heard from one interested investor. Dangerously cold weather settled into New York this week. In fact, it's so cold in New York, it's getting harder to tell who's smoking crack. It's so cold in New York, residents are telling tourists to go themselves. It's so cold in New York, the ball in Times Square is half the size it used to be. New Year's Eve is less than a week away, and workers in Times Square are already applying the first few coats of hair gel to Ryan Seacrest. Sales at Nike are dropping as the search for a turnaround strategy continues under their new CEO. In fact, management is so desperate for change, they just adopted a new slogan: just do something. Bert the Croc, seen in the 80s movie Crocodile Dundee, has died at age 90. The good news, he still looks great.
Cold-blooded.
Okay. So, some Democrats are mad at Joe Biden for spending his last few weeks in office out of sight. Maybe they should be mad at the real president. Anyway, CNN senior reporter Edward Isaac Dover criticized President Joe Biden's decision to be on vacation right now, and then he said this.
A couple of weeks before the election, I had a conversation with a senior person in the White House, and I said, if Harris loses, most of the way that Biden is going to be remembered, at least in the short term, is the guy who was just in between the Trump terms.
You got that? He said Biden is going to be remembered as the guy who was just in between the Trump terms. I don't agree with that at all. But much like when I tell David his razors make a great regift, I do not mean that as a compliment. What I mean is, I don't think that it's bad that Biden's on vacation, but that's because I really don't think he's doing all that much even when he's not. I think it's actually good for him to be on the beach because the sand breaks his falls. And I don't think that Biden's legacy is going to be the guy who was just in between the Trump terms. I mean, that's like saying Jennifer Garner will be remembered as the one between Ben Affleck's two J-Lo terms. I think it's going to be something much worse, which is how absolutely mentally unfit he was and how badly anyone who noticed this obvious fact was gaslit over it. A piece in the Wall Street Journal talked about this, pointing to special counsel Robert Hur explaining that he wasn't going to charge Biden in part because he didn't think a jury would convict a guy with such diminished faculties. Anyway, it was a huge moment that I will never forget. Much like my engagement, finding out I was pregnant, and that one time Greg told me I was doing a good job. But it wasn't the only one. There were a lot of truly crazy moments that we were somehow supposed to accept as being perfectly normal. Stuff like forgetting people were dead.
Representative Jackie, are you here? Where's Jackie? I didn't think she was going to be here.
Yeah, that Jackie he was looking for died a month before that. And he would forget who living people were, too.
It's all about treating people with dignity. And it's about making sure that, look, I mean, for example, look at the heat I'm getting because I named the Secretary of Defense to a black man.
Yeah, he can't be racist, guys. He helped out what's his name? The black guy. That's dignity. His name's Lloyd Austin, by the way. And of course, let's not forget my own personal favorite.
You had to put on your windshield wipers to get literally the oil slick off the window. That's why I and so damn many other people I grew up have cancer.
So that was the problem this whole time? And you all thought it was dementia. But hey, to his credit, since he took office, not one person has been diagnosed with oil cancer. Yep. That's why I and so damn many other people I know have cancer. Remember that? And then they were like, oh, he said he's been affected by cancer. That's not what he said. Paul, don't you think Biden will be remembered for something much worse than just being in between Trump's terms, first of all? And then when was it that you knew that Biden was unwell?
First of all, isn't it amazing that we all got used to that?
Yes.
Seeing that now, because you haven't seen him much lately. You see those clips now, you say, wow. That guy was the leader of the free world.
Yeah.
So go to
Still is, by the way, allegedly.
To go to the point that I knew, you have to say to yourself, when the leader of the free world, literally the most powerful man alive, has an imaginary friend, that's when I kind of knew, and we're going to show the clip, that's when I knew we're in real trouble here.
Let's see it.
You guys, was the imaginary friend, right, some sort of senior advisor? Did he tell him, look, just pull out of Afghanistan. It's all going to work out. It's going to be no problem. And you have to say to yourself, sincerely now, he couldn't remember, as you showed, and, you get it anecdotally as well. He couldn't remember the names of advisors. He couldn't remember what they had told him, et cetera. So why should we be surprised that I've been involved in enough transitions at the city level, et cetera. When the top person is MIA, the thing runs for a while. But then at the edges, it starts to completely fray. We haven't had an executive for 4 years, and you're seeing the results.
Yeah, that clip you showed, 2022. Aaron, do you think this is all on the media, or do you put this on anyone else also?
Oh, there's definitely a large level of culpability in the media, but also in the Biden administration. These people knew that this man was not up for the job, and we've seen these clips. He's clearly not up for the job. Here's the thing. Robert Hur, as special counsel, did an interview with Joe Biden and then put out the report in early 2024. And in that report said, we won't prosecute him because we don't think a jury could find him culpable in this situation given his mental decline. Which means during that interview, which was before the report came out, people were in that room and aware of where Joe Biden was mentally. This is actually a massive cover-up. Yeah. And in that interview we just saw with Isaac, he then goes on to say, they could finish this like the West Wing and know that they have more power right now every single day than they do when they're out of the White House. This isn't the West Wing. This is reality. This is much worse than Veep. It's not funny anymore. That man is the sitting president of the United States, can't remember who's in his cabinet, can't remember if there are people near him, can't remember what's going on half the time, and he's supposed to make the decisions to keep us all safe. That should terrify everybody, and I do hold the media and the White House press corps absolutely culpable because they travel with the man. If the press team is keeping you this far from the principal, there's a reason. And that is exactly what happened. And a great example of them trying to keep the press away from the president was at the White House Easter egg roll.
Excellent transition into your video.
Thank you very much. Did he think at that exact moment, like, yes, wild giant bunny, I will follow you this way. I have no idea what's going on. Like, he was starting to talk about, like, geopolitical catastrophe that he was leading, and the bunny's like, over here, buddy, out this way.
Truly wild. David, what do you think his legacy is going to be?
I don't even care about Joe Biden anymore.
Okay.
Honestly, I'm just on Fox to hopefully get a position in the Trump cabinet. I feel like I got passed over for FBI director. It was a snub. Should get interior or something, you know. No one knows what it does.
They need a new Easter bunny.
That Easter bunny, that was the Illuminati. It was like, oh. Joe Biden, I don't have a clip of him. I think actually it's rarer, more rare,
Yes.
to have a clip of Joe Biden not up. That's the clip I brought. Let's roll that clip.
Good morning.
He did a great job. He did it.
You know, it really does show how bad, what we've come to accept when we're all applauding that he was capable of good morning.
Yeah.
He walked to the appropriate place, stopped, and said good morning.
That's right.
And apparently it was morning.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, he did go into a tirade with some racial slurs, but notwithstanding, he did a good job up until that point.
You know, I gotta push back a little bit. He didn't forget names, but he sure the hell remembered who was black and who was not. He never, that never escaped him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he could pick a black guy out. It didn't matter where he was at. I don't know what day it is or what time it is, but I know damn sure is that guy's black.
The things that we'll give this person credit for
is that he could spot a black guy like that. It didn't. Everything else was going, but not that.
That is true.
Yeah, I guess I should have changed my clip to the beginning, like, because your question was, I know when it ended, but I knew when my eyebrows raised just a scotch when he was on Charmaine the God, and he said, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. Because he really knows how to see a black person. So that's one thing he's very good at. But what ended it for him, which ended it for everybody, if there was anybody who had any doubt in their mind, was the debate when he killed Medicaid. That's when they were like, with the curtain going, let the curtain go. It's over, bro. It's over. Like the bunny couldn't save him. Roll the clip.
For what I've been able to do with the with the COVID, with dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Unfortunately, there was no way he could blame that on a black guy, so there was absolutely done for him. But that was the end. That was the part of the Wizard of Oz when the curtain came up and we all saw the senile little old man. But he's out of the office, but the people who are making decisions are still in the office. And they're doing everything they can to sabotage the incoming president. So this really needs to be an investigation. We need to get to the bottom of what progressive group was calling shots for the United States of America, because they weren't elected. They didn't have the American people's position, and clearly he had no idea what was going on.
I don't know if you can play Tyrus's clip again, but Trump, he looks like my dog when I'm opening a bag.
Yes.
When I'm in the kitchen and I'm opening a bag, that's what Trump's face.
He also looked like every one of us when somebody was just out of their
Right? Like,
I can
he knows the cabinet's open. A treat?
A treat? A treat?
Now, he was saying, what the did he just say?
Oh, man.
Is he say? Oh, I won. I won. Oh my God. Oh, this is so great.
Up next, is it Canada's fate to become an American state?
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.